Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
What's up? What's up, people? Welcome back to the TV terminal. Look at that. I just realized something's missing. I was like, oh, that's right. I didn't center my mic. All right. My name is Adam Bell, senior editor over at thekoalition.com.
My name is Lawrence, a.k.a. a punk with toys on all the social medias.
And we are back for one of our favorite shows of the year, Tulsa King, Season 3, Episode 5, On the Rocks. I'm sure they're talking about the drink term. You know what that means. You don't drink, but you know what on the rocks means, right?
With ice.
Exactly.
And we see an ice sculpture.
And we see the ice sculpture. See, there you go. You put it all together. And for people that don't know, he's clean. This dude does not drink.
I do not.
That's it. So good. That's good. That's good. Your liver's going to be just fine as you get older.
Just everything else.
Just everything. Well, that's
knees,
right.
The ankles, the wrists, the elbows, the back.
Yeah, oh yeah. I was just telling him off just a little behind the scenes. I fell down the stairs, people. I took a bad tumble the other day. Hit my back on one of the steps. Wasn't pretty. I was like, this is it.
He was carrying 2 bourbons in each hand on the rocks.
See, there you go. On the rocks. Now I was on the rocks. Yep, there you go. It's like ice cubes fell down. It was a mess. Booze all over my face. The EMT shows up. I'm like, oh, we can't help him. He's a drunk. He deserves this. No, but I just had a can of seltzer and coffee, but my hand was not on the rail. They were occupied, so there goes that. But see, I guess I'm okay.
People, handrails are for using going down the steps, not for skateboarding. I found that out around 40.
Yeah, that's another thing people don't know about you. Dark secrets. We'll save that for another show. The dark secrets. But this dude, almost 50, jumping on handrails, acting like he's
not
19
anymore.
again.
Not anymore.
I don't know, buddy. I saw a video just like a month ago. You doing at least ledges. You were doing some ledges.
I've done some ledges and I've done rails. I don't do handrails. I don't do steps. I don't do big ramps. Not my thing. I'm good with a 3.5 to 4 foot ramp and leaving it at that, and some flat bars, maybe some round rails and a little ledges, but not too much. And even now, like today was a perfect day, and I'm like, oh, it's so much work.
There's so much work, and it's just dangerous as we get older. And I'm sure a lot of people listening to this, they're within our age group. They understand you could be healthy, you could eat right and do all the stuff, but man, our bodies are just getting fragile. If something happened, you stepped the wrong way. I had a buddy of mine, he ripped his Achilles just walking up the steps.
That right there. That is my fear, is the Achilles. Of everything, when they talk about that, that's the one that worries me. And again, it can happen anytime.
Yep.
If it does ever happen, knock on wood that it never will, it better happen while at work, so I get workman's comp.
Exactly.
Aflac only covers so much. All right.
Yep. Or hobble your ass over there and then collapse. Right. And then like, oh, my leg.
That'll be a long drive into work that day when you suffer, and then you're like, oh my God, boss, man. Right. I just stepped out on the ground after 8 a.m. This is crazy.
Shoot, it'd be a lucky day if it's snowing. Oh, that'd be fantastic, because then no one's going to second guess it. Like, yo, Larry just went down. Oh, my leg. Oh, Lord. All right, people, there you go. That's a little behind the scenes, but let's get into it. A lot happened in this episode. As we all know, this is a shorter season than the prior seasons. Next episode is the finale. That's it. 6 episodes. We're done. So I don't know how I feel about this. As you know, we just finished wrapping up. I talked about some of the other shows. They're like 7 episodes. We just did Walking Dead over at the Koalition. There's no set standard now. Before, remember, there was like 24, 16, 10. 10 was a magic number for a long time for a lot of shows. Then 8. Netflix is known for doing a lot of 8s. Now we're seeing 7, 6. What the hell, man?
Yeah, Disney started doing the 6 episode thing for quite some time.
Yeah, and before that it was 10.
The 7 one was, who did 7 again? We just did one that had 7. The Terminal List.
Terminal list. That was
And we're like
7.
7. That's weird.
Yeah.
And they did 3 in one day, right?
Yeah. They dropped 3 in one day. They were rushing that one. Like, all right, we gotta get this done. But hey, speaking of that, let's get this episode done. Boom. Let's just jump into it. So we open up with this this scene over here. At least that's what I have listed here, because this one.
Well, we see them setting up the
The bar area. They're getting ready for the event.
Yeah, nothing major. We just kind of see that they're all working and everything. Then we jump into this, and this is I guess it's kind of setting up the episode.
Yeah. I mean, so we got Margaret, for those listening. I'm like, what the hell are they talking about? We got the Margaret scene with Dwight in bed, and they're just talking and they're planning things. He's still making jokes. What do you think? You think he's joking about the whole thing with Cal? And he's like, hey,
no, I think he's really jealous.
He's really jealous.
Yeah, I don't think he's worried that she's going to cheat. I don't think that he's worried that Cal's going to. He just doesn't like it. So maybe jealousy is the wrong word, or maybe it's jealousy that he gets to spend this time with her. Not that he's worried that she's going to. I mean, this woman is sticking by him after all the things that she's seen of him.
Yeah, but remember at the beginning of this season, he wanted to shoo her away. He was like, you don't get involved in this. You don't need it. You don't need it. Well, she's here. But so let's say if he did do that. Let's say she says, you know what? You're right. I don't need this. And then she still takes on this job because it pays well. Remember, she wants to get something out of this from Cal, which is get his ownership share of her ranch.
Well, so she wants her ranch.
Yeah, exactly. So she could have still made that deal. And let's say they weren't together. Then he would have been super jealous, right? He would have been like, oh, now you're messing with me.
Yeah, I think he's more jealous that he gets to spend time with her, that he wants to, but I don't think it's jealousy in that he's worried that she's going to decide to, well, you know what, Cal and I have so much. She doesn't like him. Like he screwed her over, and again, she stuck by him even after he tried shooing away, and she's like, no, you're not getting rid of me that easy. I'm sorry. I just watched you murder a few people. I'm out.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm out, dude. I have no love that much. All right.
Plus, we also got to remember, and the show keeps bringing it up, but people, it may think it's just a number, but just think about this: 25 years behind bars, over 2.5 decades. That is a long ass time to be behind bars.
It is.
So for him to come out, and I was trying to think about, we were talking about the age. I don't know if they say his age. I think they said it once early on when he was messing with that other girl, first season. But
yes,
he definitely says
he's 75.
He said 75. All right. So
he went in at 50. So it's not like he went in at 18 or 19 or 21 and all this. Like he went in, he was old. He was at least as old as I am now. I'll be 50 in December, right? So he was at least as old as I am now. And I know, guys, I look like I'm in my 20s. I look wonderful. I get it.
You go. Sure.
So he had a long life. Yeah, he lived a long life outside. And then he went in for 25 years. I don't think people, I think when we still see him, we still think of, 1980s Rocky.
Forever. For life.
So, that's the only way we're still seeing him as maybe a 40-year-old. He's not. I looked it up. He's going to be 80 next year. So even if that's not the exact age they use, they did say 75.
75, man. Still, I think
it was 75.
That's so he's a long time.
Yeah. So again, he went in when he was probably around 50 or so. So he had a long time outside because obviously he has kids and everything.
Yeah. Which we haven't seen really in this season. It's mainly just been Joanne.
So. We saw the grandchildren in episode 1, and that was it. Didn't see his daughter.
Yep. All right. Well, after this, we find out, a little bit more here. The main story plot with this is that she's still working with Cal. She wants to bring Cal to the big event for the 50 that everyone's setting up. They have Brody is bringing in the influencers. He's doing all his online magic to get the hype out there. So this is going to be like the big reveal, right? We're going to do that whole thing. And that's great. All right. Poof. Then we get back over to the location where everyone's getting things set up. Right? Yep. So that was, but before that, we do get a little bit of Dunmire and Cole. They have
Well,
their
we got Bill talking to Vince really quickly.
Oh yes, the NYC.
Vince
That was
calls
really
Bill,
quick. Yep,
and
yep.
Bill's like, because Vince is like, "Hey, what's going on? And we need to know this." And he's like, "Well, why are you asking me this?" Well, this is for Ray. And he's like, "Well, it sounds like Ray should be talking to Dwight." It's like Bill seems aggravated that Bill seems aggravated that anyone is talking to him to get to Dwight. You should be talking directly to him. And like I said, I don't think Bill really cares for Dwight, but he also sees him as like he's the stand-up guy, even though we know he's not. Right?
No.
But I think there's also reasons why he decided he needed to work with the feds, why he needed to be a rat.
I do find it funny that they show him on the phone while riding a horse. That was kind of really showing the difference. You got one they showed with the little splash screen just to emphasize, hey, Vince is in New York.
Yeah.
And then he calls Bill, and Bill's just riding around on a horse with a cowboy hat on. It's like, what do you want? Really funny with that.
But I mean, I think to me, it's showing this loyalty that Bill has, even though he may not fully like Dwight. He sees Dwight as the stand-up guy, and if Ray has an issue with him, then Ray needs to contact him himself. And again, he does not seem to like Vince. Vince is just, Vince will do anything. Vince will throw his mom, he'll throw mama from a train just to get ahead.
That was a classic movie. Thanks for bringing that up. I love that movie. Love that movie.
But a long time.
Oh, a long time. But I'm blanking on her name, but she's, the mom from the Goonies. Fratelli's. Oh, that was classic. But I don't know if it's so much of that he likes Dwight is more of like, and we find out more later in the episode, but it's more of like, hey, I already made a deal with Dwight. We're making money.
Yeah.
We bring New York and that's another cut, right? You don't want to give another cut. You want to keep it in the house. He's already, they have a working arrangement and he knows that Vince is out for himself and talks about Ray. But what's funny is that we already know that conversation between Ray and Dwight already happened last episode.
Yeah.
Right. So they've already had this conversation, and he doesn't want anything to do with them. So this conflict is happening, and I guess that's the only thing and we'll get to it. In fact, I'm not going to say it. Just again, Dwight keeping secrets from Bill.
Yes.
This is stuff he could have brought up when Bill went to his house. We'll get to that when that part comes.
But then quickly, before we get to the whole Dunmire, we do have a quick little clip of Tyson asking Dwight, "How do you get these women?" And he says, "Humor and breath mints." Then he hands them.
Exactly. It's like, there you go, buddy, because you're killing it with the fishes in your mouth. Oh, Lord.
I really feel Tyson has no purpose at all anymore.
He is. What role is he supposed to have? He's the driver. He's always been the driver. His purpose is for these little side conversations from point A to point B, instead of just saying in the writing on the script, Dwight in car. It's like, well, what's he doing?
Again, I feel like his character, it hasn't developed. I think his dad is more important. We look at Bodie. I think we all agree Bodie is, very important. Obviously, Joanne is. We can go down to, Goody. He serves the purpose of like, he knows how everything's run when he's not around. Mitch is really number 2. Grace has shown some sort of evolution, and even Bigfoot has. But I don't see any reason to have Tyson on there. I'd rather them kill Tyson off, which would bring his dad in to be a full-time cast member to try and avenge his son.
Oh, well, they could go down that road. I could see that.
I'm just saying. Anyway, there's someone right now going, "I love Tyson."
But the thing is, it's true. What is Tyson really offering? Some people say, "Oh, comic relief," but he's too naive with everything. Like you said, he's not growing. And even in the whole scene here, he's like, "I don't know if I feel like a man." He gives the whole description of a guy running into a burning house, saving people, or he talks about his dad. He said, "My dad's a real man." He's like, "Yeah, you're right, you did." It's like, well, what did I do? What am I doing? I'm just your driver.
Well,
what am I really doing?
We'll talk about that in a second, because I have something, because quickly that comes right after the Cole, so I want to talk about that in a second. But then we have Cole talking talking to Spencer here, and basically ask, and I still think this was a setup.
You think so? You don't
Yeah,
think it's
I,
genuine? Something about it. Just
I think he genuinely likes her because we see that little look
yeah.
at the end. But I
That's
think there was a setup that the guy came and followed her.
That's what I think we both thought that, but then that was like 2 episodes back and they never went anywhere with it. So it's like, oh well, maybe it was a one-off.
Well,
Because
they don't
even
need to.
but Cole could have said to his dad, because he spews everything at his dad, he could say, don't worry, I got somebody on the inside. I'm figuring things out. This would be the inside person, Spencer behind the bar. But he doesn't.
Except for his dad pretty much has told him, like, he pretty much knows from his dad, like, until you have something fully locked and loaded, don't talk to me.
His dad talks. He's horrible.
His dad doesn't care for him. It's like,
No,
you are the nuisance, and that is why I said I think at the end of this season, or maybe in the next season, if this storyline is still going, Cole will be the one that takes out his dad, and not to prove his loyalty to Dwight or anything, just because he can't deal with him anymore.
Yeah, because I mean, they had that conversation really quick, talking in the house, and he was like, "Well, listen, I don't care. Just get all the guys together. We may have to crack heads, and then I want you to disappear. And if I need you, I'll call you."
Yep.
Why is he talking down to his son like this? Why? We're not going to get it.
He's just a meathead. He looks at his son as a meathead. Anytime he tries to do something, he seems to screw it up a little bit more. So to him, he's just like, you're muscle when I need it.
Yeah. I mean, we also get a quick little scene that was with Dunmire talking to that politician guy, right? He's trying to set things up. I remember that was a little part there. I think at least I have it written down on my notes. For people to know, remember our format, we watch it, we take our notes, we jump in real quick. It's a real fluid conversation. We're figuring this out. So putting it all together. But I'm pretty sure it was something with a politician.
That's a little bit
later.
A little bit later. So quick, I want to go to. So what we have here is then we get Dwight and Tyson talking as they're driving, and this is what he's asking about being a man. So this is where I go back to. Well, first off, this whole conversation. This is Rocky talking to Paulie.
Oh,
like, that is a conversation that truly came out of one of the Rockies, and you even hear it in Rocky's voice.
It was when he's talking to his son. It was in Balboa. Right?
Yeah.
And he was like, life will beat you and get you down, but you keep getting back up because that's how winning's done. Yeah,
it was a Rocky speech. But what I'm talking about with Tyson being useless is like, he's talking about, what's a man? Like, I don't, and then he starts telling me he feels like a man. That's something that should have happened in season 1, maybe early in season 2. Yeah. We're at the end of season 3. Like, this is something that should
He's going to die. Tyson's going to die.
This is something that should have been like addressed and developed in season 1, not at the end of season 3, where it's like, all right, you're just a driver.
Yeah, no.
So again, I don't see a purpose for him.
Well, I mean, we've been poo-pooing on him a lot, but I think something's going to happen with him. Something happened with his dad before, but he survived. Dad didn't pop up in this episode.
Nope.
So we'll see where that goes. But I have a feeling something's going to happen. Something's going to happen with him, just because they're putting him in that situation in the way that Dwight's referring to him and talking to him and giving him advice, almost like a son, and he's looking out for him because he also respects his father, Mark.
Yes. So
it's going to be interesting to see what happens, but I have a feeling something bad is going to happen. And if they want to pull the feels for the audience, I think the people would really react if something happens.
If something happens to Tyson, and that's what makes Dwight go off the deep end and become the ruthless guy that I think we think mob bosses are, right?
Yep.
That would do it, because he does see him as like, he's like his surrogate father.
Yeah.
And because his father pretty much said, he's going down a road I don't want him to, so I need you to watch out for him. Even though you're the one that's taking him down that road.
But also remember that's when Mark said, hey, he's going to jump in on this because he needs to watch over his son. He was like, oh, mom is going to get upset. It's like, no. I'm here to watch over you. She'll get it. She'll be cool with that.
So then we get Dwight showing up at the brewery. And, he's just impressed with how everything is. And, they put all this together. And then quickly Mitch comes out. I think it was Mitch that says, hey, you know what? Someone needs to see you. Or no, it was Sorry, it was Goody, because when Dwight walks in, he pretty much asks Bodie, explain the finances here, and Bodie goes into something very detailed. Now again, Bodie has a purpose. His character has developed. And I think this is funny because Goody comes out, says, "Hey, someone needs to talk to you." Not right now. No, someone needs to talk to you right now. It's Bill. And then he says, "All right, finish this conversation with him." And he was like, "You're the one that asked the question."
Yeah, exactly. So he just walks. How can I'm going to do that with my wife with the kids. She's going to ask me something. It's like, "Hey, tell me about this and who's paying this bill?" And my son's going, I'm like, "Finish this with him."
All these guys are anti-heroes. They're all a-holes for the most part, except for Bodie. All the dude wanted to do, and I say every episode, all he wanted to do was run his weed shop legally. And yet he ends up getting thrown in this. He can't get out of it. You know, he's the only one I truly feel bad for.
Yeah. Because Casey's in the house. We got Bill. Bill's over here. And then Bill's like, "Hey, we got to talk." And he comes clean. You see, this is again when we'll bring it up later, but he's really being upfront. Bill is being a good partner to Dwight right now, because he says, "Hey, Vince is reaching out. New York is involved. Ray is involved. They all know about what's going on here. They want to cut. I don't want them in there. I don't want them involved." And he's like, "Well, it was going to happen. It is what it is. You're too relaxed. And we know why he's relaxed, because Dwight's already had this conversation with Ray. He knows. And this is what I'm saying. He could have said, "Hey, listen, I know because I've already talked to Ray." And he could have came clean with that.
Well, he talked to Ray and told Ray, and this is what he should have come clean with. "I talked to Ray, and I told Ray he has nothing to do with this.
Yep.
Now it's on us, and because you're my partner, to keep him out of it. But I've already told him." Like, you're right. Like, there's certain things. It does feel like there's some things that Dwight, Bill is much younger than Dwight, obviously. Probably by about 25 years.
But still, I mean, it's your partner. It's a business partner. At that point, it doesn't even matter. It's like, hey, you guys agreed to work together, and he's being upfront. Bill didn't have to say any of this. He could have kept that info in his back pocket and be like, "This is just in case shit happens with Dwight."
If anything, you would have thought Bill would be the one that would keep it from Dwight. He's the one that has been upfront with him every single time. So, and again, I really like Frank Grillo. That's the actor that Bill is. I like him. I think he doesn't always play the same character, but he almost always seems to have that same type of attitude, going back to Captain America and everything.
The peacemaker. I love him. He's the hard ass, So
I mean, I absolutely love how he is, and I do think he's a good actor. Like, he plays this hard ass in this, but at the same time, he's like, dude, like, he's so confused over, like, this should be cut. Like, this should be cut and dry. This should be a cut and dry conversation, and it's not because of, Dwight.
Yep. And speaking of confused, he does bring up something interesting here, and I thought it was going to pop up later in this episode. It doesn't. He says that one of his spots got raided by the feds, and I was like, "Ooh!" The agent that Dwight's working with never said anything about Bill. Never brings up Bill. So
I was thinking that had to do with who Dunmire talks to. But if he's in Kansas City, he would have no jurisdiction.
Different jurisdiction. Now, I don't know if all his businesses are I'm assuming they're all in Kansas City, because remember he said I was going to send some trucks. The trucks were going to come and help move some stuff, but it's not. That would be different. That would be like, "Oh, they pulled over some of the trucks, some of my laundry." No, they raided one of his spots. We have to assume that raid took place in Kansas City, but that came out of nowhere. And
you're right. They never address it after that.
No.
So that's one of those weird, like, do you want to expound on that a little bit? But then Dwight gets a call.
It's from the watchmaker.
Yeah, the watchmaker.
The watchmaker.
And he basically says, "Hey, you need to meet. I need to meet you now. Today's not a good day. What about tomorrow? You have 5 minutes to decide." Once he hangs up, then he gets a call from Musso saying, "You need to go. Not today." He's like, "I know.
He's tapping
this
his
is what's
phone.
important.
Phone's tapped everything. I mean, this is at some point there's got to be some rights for Dwight, right? You can't. Can they just do this? Can they just? He's not really officially an informant, but I guess he is now. And then that
What's he gonna do?
Like that's what I'm saying. What's he
Is
gonna,
he gonna go tell?
You're
Like-
gonna whack this agent. That's what you're gonna do. It's like it's like you're the only person I've been dealing with. How about you come visit me at my bar? I don't know, around 3 a.m. alone. We'll have a talk, and then he disappears. But I don't know. This just seems wrong. It's a lot of pressure, and then the fact that he calls right afterwards. He's like, "Are you tapping my phone?" It's like, yeah, I am tapping everything. Just say yes to that meeting, and sends him a horrible image. Right? That image. It was bad.
It looks like his children, because he goes, and he goes, "I'm going to send you some images." And I believe that they are things that this guy has done. And I think we find out later on exactly what he does.
Yeah.
He's an explosives guy, right?
Yeah.
And he blows up homes. So once he calls back, Dwight says, "I'll meet you. Where do you want me to meet you?" This I didn't. He goes, "You know where to meet me," something like that.
Yeah.
And but they never really. I don't think he ever says like, "I'm at your bar."
No.
Right?
Nope.
It's just like.
Exactly. Yeah, they don't bring it up. He doesn't say it. But then again, that could be in the final cut.
Yeah.
We are watching, for those who remember, we are watching screeners, and there are scenes that pop up, and it's like, oh, this will be filmed later. So it could very well be brought up later on. Hey, listen, we're meeting at the bar, because he did tell him, the watchmaker told Dwight, he says, all right, you've been cleared. So I guess he needed time to do the background check on him, find out if he's legit, finds all the stuff out, shows up. Dwight shows up at his bar, talks to Lucas, who's behind the bar now. It gets different shifts with Spencer. Give me some vodka, grabs a glass, sits down, watchmaker's already there, and then they have this meeting. Then we find out exactly what the watchmaker does. And like you said, he's an explosives expert, right? He builds explosives. It's like, hey, what do you need? What's the size? And I think at this point, because remember, Dwight is like us. He was in the dark. He doesn't know anything about this guy. The agent didn't want to tell him anything. He's like, don't worry about it. Well, now he does. But you laughed and I laughed when he gave you, because you want to blow something? Yeah, I want to blow something. How big? And he said, all right, who is it? And that's interesting. At first, I'm like, oh, don't say it, right? Why? What is it to you? Why do you would think anyone who's making explosives or any of that would not want to know, just in case they get busted, It's like, hey, I don't know. He needed a bomb. I don't know what he wanted to do with it. Maybe he wanted to kill coyotes or something. No, he tells him Dunmire, and the guy said the bourbon maker. He's like, yeah, the bourbon guy.
But the watchmaker explains that he knows, he's done his research. If I'm going to be associated with someone, I need to know who they are. So he pretty much tells him who it is, and he says the bourbon maker. Yep, okay. And I think this is a perfect way that we see possibly Dunmire's home get blown up, while the watchmaker also gets busted.
Is it the home that he wants to blow up, or just his brewery? That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that he was like, he was going to blow up his business, blow up his brewery. Forget the house. It was like just to end his operation. You blow up the house, he could go and live in a motel for a while. You blow up his operation.
I mean, he's a rich man. He said 10 to 1,500 square feet.
Yeah, he said 10 to 15. Which one? He said 15.
15,000.
15,000. He said go higher.
15,000 isn't. If you're a rich person, 15,000 isn't absolutely crazy, especially like where they're living, right? You can have a lot of real estate.
Yeah. But he's like, all right, well, I want $250,000 up front. And then there was I think it was like 200 some thousand, whatever, afterwards or something like that.
Whatever it was, and
it was just a lot of money. I mean, and
Dwight just say like, you didn't mention this, right?
Yeah,
you didn't mention this. Is that a problem? Now, I think this also goes back to Musso would have known that he was going to ask for that.
Yeah. I mean, if he knows that this is the business that the watchmaker's in, Yeah, you would think he would know that he goes out there, he meets with clients, whatever. He doesn't say, write me a check, Venmo me. He wants the money up front. He
Yep.
wants to deal with everything on site. So yeah, and I'm assuming, I mean, we'll get to that part with the pictures, right? So whoever's doing that, right? That's the agent. It's got to be, right? Unless I
Oh
missed
yeah, he was
something.
going to send him over.
No,
But
yeah,
again, like this would make sense why the watchmaker Dexter is his name. Why
yeah.
Dexter would meet there? He knows he's not going to show up to a meeting elsewhere and he's not going to have the cash because it was never agreed upon. He knows everything. So
You know, it's also a cool scene where Dwight just gets up and just walks out, beep, 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 goes into the back room, beep, 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 opens up a vault and just has stacks of cash. I'm like, oh, that must be a great feeling, right? Wouldn't you like that, Lawrence? Just to open up a vault and just have
I think I'd be happy with one of those stacks. All right.
right. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not even a question. It was like 250,000. Clearly, he has it all wrapped up nice and neat because he doesn't count any of it. He grabs it, shoves it in the back, doopy 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 doo, brings it out back, hands it to the guy. The guy doesn't even need to count it because, man, if he was willing to just go in the back and bring me a bag of goodies like this, I'm sure the numbers add up. He makes a little joke, right? Are you a Fed? He doesn't answer. Bad joke. Walks out.
And as he walks out, now right before this, we had seen a van pull up. And I thought I thought that was one of the Dunmire's vans. But we see a van pull up, and as Dexter walks out, Tyson noticed. I thought they were gonna have Tyson go out. I'm like, God, they just need to get rid of him.
This is when Tyson dies.
He sees him, and then he just continues to play with his phone, like no big deal, right?
Yeah, but it could be anybody.
Yeah, but then we see someone taking pictures, and I assume that was, well, at first I assumed that it was one of the Dunmires, but we find out later on it isn't.
It's Bill's people.
Yes.
See, now that's the thing. You thought it was Dunmire's. At first, I thought it was the agent because we're all assuming, and I'm sure the viewers, probably and listeners out there, you guys think, right? It's got to be a personal thing going on.
I thought it was the van that we saw the Dunmires had, though.
Oh, they do have a van, but
they're the same color and everything. That's why I was like,
there was a blowout sale in town. I was like, this is the one that they got on sale. I don't know. Maybe they went to Hertz or rent a car or something. I'm like, what's the cheapest van you got?
You just happen to get the same van.
You know what? It's for the show. They were like, shoot, how many vans do we have? We got the one. We got to reuse it. We got to get our money's worth here. Right? Let's put this out there.
Or maybe all the people watching it, they're like, dude, that was a green van. What are you talking about? Maybe they colored the van in later.
Exactly. They filled it in exactly. Completely different.
Just so you know, within these shows that we're watching, there are certain spots where it just says on the screen, Dwight's van and Dwight's truck is driving down the road. We don't see it.
They're going to fill in the drone shots afterwards. Yeah. Occasionally, we'll get different audio for different dialogue that's not originally said. There are some changes. This is part of it. But we've never seen anything too drastic. Like, it's like, hey, you said Tyson was driving? Mitch was driving. Holy crap. They completely replaced? No, not that. But I'm telling you right now, I'm just going to say before I forget, I think that the whole thing going on with the agent and the watchmaker and why we just see those two interact with the whole thing, this is personal. I wouldn't be surprised if the bomb maker was hired to blow up someplace, and that's why he keeps showing him, the agent keeps showing images of children. Maybe the agent's child was impacted by one of those explosions, and they have no real proof to link him. So he's made it his point to try to do this on his own. So that way he can come in at the last minute once they go to bust him, and he's going to take this guy out. I think it's a personal vendetta that he has, because that was something that Dwight hinted.
I thought he made it kind of clear that it's personal for him.
Well, that could be a case. It could be a case. He was like, oh, well, is this something? Oh, well, it's a case. It's a case. The guy's done bad things. But I think it's more than just, this is one case that I want to close before I retire. And it's another thing to say, oh, this is a case. And this guy impacted my personal life as well. Now I got to get him. I got to bring him down. Kind of funny that Dwight is the go-to for all of this. But then again, in this episode, as we saw it doesn't tell us time, but I'm assuming a few days have gone by. So that way Dexter can go and do the background check. And as he threw in his face, oh, I know the 25 years and I see a business. I make it my business to know everything about my clients. Okay. That then explains why the agent picked Dwight, because he knew that this guy is very meticulous and was going to look him
he
up.
said that. Because what he said, don't want you to send one of your undercovers. He's like, he would know that. But you basically are a thug.
And you're still a thug.
Yeah.
Right. That's it. It's like, even if you beat a few rap cheats, you're still out there hustling and doing all this. But what else? What else we got here? I think we get the inspector, right? That's what I have here.
Let's see here. Well, we do have Dunmire setting up. Let's see.
Yeah, there's the Dunmire with the inspector. Right?
Oh yeah,
because then it's because that was the other thing. He was like, all right, he gets his inspector. He told the politician guy to go and say, hey, get this inspector, send somebody over there and crash this event. Put a stop to it.
Shut it down, or I'm going to shut it down the way I want to shut it down. You're not going to like that. Which, when we get to that, I have a huge issue.
Oh, there's a lot of issues. Yeah, you could definitely vent on that one, because I have some stuff to say as well. But yeah, so we get that ready. That's going to happen. We get a quick scene with Mitch. He's over there. He's talking to Cleo. They're worried about Dwight. Dwight hasn't shown up yet. This is a little bit of filler because they keep showing Dwight in the car driving. Now, I don't know how far. I'm assuming this event, as we saw from the beginning, is at the brewery, right?
Yes.
So I don't know how far it is. You would think a brewery is further out of town. You need a big facility, whole thing. So it's going to take some time, and they're heading over there. But things are happening.
Yeah, but we have the inspector show up, and they're asking for Joanne. And finally, Bodie pulls her aside and says, we have to let him walk through here, and then we'll deal with it. Now, they do not. Now, they know Dunmire has kind of set this up, but they don't realize what he's looking to do. So we have Goody. No, not Goody. Was it Goody? No. Yeah. It was Goody.
No, it was Goody. Goody goes in. He's like, all right, come on. He was like, I'll take him back, because Joanne stepped aside with Brody. And Brody basically, because she says, she knows exactly. She was like, oh, you're with the old guy. Yeah, I get it. I get what's happening here. And then it's like, no, hold on. Brody says, hey, we have to let this guy do his job. He has an official badge, so it's not just someone saying, I'm the inspector. He really is an inspector. He's like, we got to let him do it. It's part of the process. It's horrible. We know what they're doing because it's at night. The guy's showing up to an event. I don't think these inspectors would go after hours to go do something like that.
Again, this is why I say Bodie serves a purpose. I mean, not only is he the moral compass, but he's the brains behind the operation. So Goody and Bigfoot take him in there. They lock the door behind him, which I found kind of odd.
I thought they were going to kill him instantly when they did that. I was like, oh, this is how they solve it. I was like,
so as they're as they're walking through, we see Bigfoot. I mean, and this guy, he's pointing everything out, and he's like, hey, we can, we'll fix that. He's like, you're supposed to fix that before you open up. And Bigfoot goes behind it, and he pushes a barrel.
Oh man!
To scare him, and it crushes him.
What do you mean scare? Like, that's the thing when he said that. When he said, "Oh, I did it just to scare him." What, a barrel falling? He's scared of ghosts? He already said there was big ass rats or whatever, right? Infestation. So I'm sure as an inspector, he's seen the worst of the worst. So I don't believe that.
No.
Yeah.
And it's a barrel of bourbon, which I'm assuming is probably the same weight of a barrel of water. All right. Pick up a bucket of water and you tell me how heavy it is. Now you're going to push a barrel. If that lands on you, it's going to crush you.
I'll tell you this though. When they were, maybe I won't say. I'll save it afterwards, because I got an idea or a theory with this one. No, you know what? I'll just say it right now before I forget, because I have a memory like a goldfish with some shit. So, yeah, there you go. So this is what I think. Since the inspector was doing this on the side for the politician and for Dunmire, his boss probably doesn't even know he's there. Yeah. So if they go, like they say later on, was like, oh, well, we'll make this disappear because nobody saw him come in. But I also think his boss doesn't even know. So it's probably not even documented that he was supposed to be there doing an inspection. There you go.
Could be.
This could disappear real quick and be a non-factor going forward.
But they already kind of explained how they're going to do it, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, we'll get to that toward the end. They figure it out. But I'm just saying, I was thinking about like, oh man, someone goes missing, especially someone like this. There's going to be an investigation, all this stuff. No, not really.
So, this is where, hold on,
let's just make sure. I think it was with Cleo, right? Where Cleo goes to.
They go and get Mitch. This is why I say Mitch is number 2, right? They go and get Mitch. They bring Mitch in, and they're like, "How are we going to clean this up?" Mitch's like, "We're not going to do anything. We're going to leave it here, and we'll talk to Dwight after the event."
Yeah. Just deal with it. And then that was it. They were like, all right, let's just go out there and give a speech. We got to do something. All these people are here. Dwight's taking too long. Just go out there.
And then we see Dunmire really unhappy because the inspector hasn't shut anything down. So now they have to take matters in their own hands. Little do they know that the inspector is crushed.
Poor inspector. The only inspector I care about is Inspector Gadget. But don't. That's it.
So anyway, this was a pretty good part. So like, Cal doesn't want to be there. Cal is, he's like, I'm not taking pictures with Dwight. I don't.
Yeah, because Dwight showed up and he doesn't. Margaret's like, hey, let's go. These are influencers. You have to just schmooze. Yeah, exactly. But he sees Dwight.
Yeah, Dwight's there. He says, giving a speech. And then that's when Cal realizes next to Bill. And they have a history.
Oh, yeah.
And then Cal, I'm out of here. I'm done. And, which I thought was funny. I thought, like, both those guys have played some pretty big a-holes.
They have the face. They have a face you just want to punch. It's like, oh.
I have to say, Neil McDonough, that's his name, Cal. He can play either like a good guy or a bad guy, like equally. You just normally see him as a bad guy.
That guy rules.
Well, he was a good guy in Minority Report.
Oh, shoot, man. That was
a long time ago.
Such a long time ago. Yeah, another Tom Cruise classic.
Yeah, another great movie. Tom Cruise did. I don't care what anyone says.
It was.
Anyway. Yeah. So this is when it gets interesting, right? This is where Dunmire smashes through. They have police lights going. They smash in there. Now, these are state cops, I believe.
They had the shields. Yeah, they had their patrol vehicles. They came in force. Get ready, because I know you have something to say, because I got my own. So go for it. Well,
first off, they smashed through. They could have run anyone over. These are state police. Now, at this point, someone has come smashing through. I'm pretty sure that you have every right to fire your weapon at them. They have. Now, again, I do not know what Oklahoma law is, but someone has now broken onto your property. Clearly, you feel that they're a threat. They just drove a car into a gallery of people. But
did they do that?
They drove right in.
They drove real close. Did they smash through?
I don't know. Right in.
Holy smoly. I don't know. I thought it was like a beer garden type of setting where it extended out and that they just drove up underneath the scaffold area. I don't think they actually like
so. I believe they drove right into it. But anyway, they get out. Whatever. Go ahead. Yeah, they get out and guns are drawn. The police are there. Now, again, why are the police there? These are state cops. And then you have the attorney general, right? Or am I thinking something else?
I think that was the guy. That's the crooked politician. He kept calling him the politician. So, yeah, I think so.
And he's right there.
Oh, this would have been great if Cal was there. Because maybe Cal could have done something. And then he would have looked like the hero of the whole thing. Like, hey,
I kind of thought that's what was going to be something that happened. But here's another thing. Mitch says something to Bill about like, why are you guys strapped like something's going to happen? Well, they were strapped. Where were they? Everybody scatters. They scatter like rats on a sinking ship.
That's law enforcement. There's a difference from like if Dunmire would have just shown up with his goons, which is what I thought he was going to do when he said, "Oh, we're going to get the guys together, crack some heads." That's what he made it seem like. No, he brings the law.
Right? This is 2025, right?
Yeah.
There's cameras. I guarantee you, there's cameras. You can't be an
Cellular
attorney general.
devices. I was
Yeah.
waiting for a scene. Remember, these are supposedly, quote unquote influencers at this event. Don't tell me somebody wasn't doing a selfie and be like, "Yo, take a look what just happened at the 50,
So
brewery show."
state cops, they can't be pulling in like this. I don't care. This isn't the Dukes of Hazzard, right? This isn't an 80s TV show that or crooked sheriffs, right? So I have a huge issue with that because guns are drawn, and Dunmire walks in and it's weird. You just have Dwight like yelling at him. He smashes a bourbon barrel with his axe, which okay.
He's upset. I thought he was going to smash all of them, and they were just going to stand there and watch.
I thought he was going to smash the ice sculpture. But the cops have their guns drawn, and they're telling everyone to put their guns down. Then they all put them away. The cops would have known, like, you can't do that. I'm sorry. So I have a huge issue with this. There was so much wrong there. You got the attorney general just sitting there watching it. And then Dunmire walks over there. He says, I created this with this woman's father. Of course, she starts flipping out because Dunmire leaves out that he also had the father killed. So, it's like, all right.
She should have spoke up. You killed my father. Yeah, I'm telling you, this would have been a great scene. They show from the over the shoulder for Dunmire and showing the stunned crowd there. Where's the phones? These are influencers. Yeah. Where's the phones? People should be filming this. And there would have been great press for them, especially if she came out clear saying, you killed my father, you tried to steal our business, and now you're destroying, just go on a rant. She just finished giving a speech about how proud her dad would have been seeing the success of the 50 and all this stuff.
And she showed up at his house doing lawn jobs. You think now he's on her property, she'd speak up more.
Yep. Bring it.
Damn it, Cleo.
Frank, Miss Cleo, can't you see the future? You could have fixed this. You could have done it.
I just had a lot of issues with this. And he puts his bourbon there, which, okay, so you smash one barrel, then you gave him another one. That's kind of an even trade, you idiot. And then they leave, and he basically, like, the attorney general's like, you can't do this. And he's like, yeah, if your guy would have done done your thing.
Yeah, exactly. If we would have done it, then I didn't have to do it. Well, you didn't have to do this, and especially
then they all just leave. No cops are called because the
troopers are there, and the politician dude is there. What else do you need? That's it.
Well, you're still going to call the police.
That one sheriff that we saw on the highway who knows that Dwight's a rat. Come on.
Yeah, like there was just there's something very problematic about having the state police there. They shouldn't have had any politician, no cops there, nothing. Because even if they were on the take, they're right there.
Yeah.
There's got to be some sort of video, some sort of footage of it, right?
I mean, Dwight's also running a shady operation, so I don't know if he would have too many cameras outside. But definitely, like I said, the phones, influencers.
Remember, this was not.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is at the brewery. Yeah, they should be cameras. No,
but there might not be
the same cameras that they showed outside when Tyson with the car and all that stuff. Yeah.
So, so then after everyone leaves, because everyone just leaves this, like, anytime there's this is as ridiculous as Reacher. Like, everyone just leaves. Like, okay.
I mean, what do you want them to do? No one wants to start picking up. It's like, all right, do you want me to like clean the tables? Do you want me to put away the dishwasher? We can still load the dishwasher. There's a lot of glasses that are not broken.
And then Dwight gives his whole thing, and he says, "You know what? He thinks he beat us." And I forget the whole speech, but
if you think he beats us, then that means he wins. Yeah, that's how that works. I don't know. It sounds like he's trying to come up with all these really big speeches. Not Stallone. He's no. I'm just saying the writers, the way they put this together, it's to give another motivational speech for the people. It's like, we're gonna get this. We'll come back better. It's gonna be better than before. This. And Joanne's like, no, I don't think so. It's not happening.
Yeah. So then Dwight's like, everyone go home. Now, first off, why is anyone going back to their home? I'm not going anywhere near anything that someone might follow me or know where I live. I'm moving from hotel to hotel to hotel every single night. And I'm like, Dwight, go in that vault and get me some money because I'm not going home.
I gave all the money to the watchmaker. I'm sorry. Oh, by the way, no one's getting paid this week. Later.
So then, he says, everyone go home. Anything else? And they're like, we have to show you something. He's like, can it wait? No. And then they take, and nobody's like shocked about this. So once again, guy's crushed. He says, did anyone else see him come in? No. Okay. So you no one saw you sure? Yeah. Which again, you guys aren't sure about shit. All right.
Exactly. It was like, how?
This is the poorest criminal organization ever run. You see why he was never a boss. All right.
There you go. I mean, they're not pros. These are just it's a ragtag crew that he put together.
He just says, all right, we're gonna leave him here. He came in, he was doing his inspections, everything happened. He kind of got lost. Bodie will find him in the morning when he does his rounds.
There you go. Put Bodie
All
in.
Bodie wanted to do was run his weed company, his weed shop legitly.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's going to find a guy crushed by bourbon the night before.
And that means that he has to deal with the police and questioning it. And he does not do well under pressure when people are talking to him. He doesn't go well with them. So that means it's going to be Bodie and Grace. And I can see Grace filling in all the blanks because he's just going to be stumbling around.
This thing is sealed. That guy is going to be stinking in the morning.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's stuck there.
And then we
that's it. Then Margaret quickly talks to Dwight. It was somewhere in between all this, saying, "You want to come home with me?" He's like, "I need to go home. I need to figure things out." This, and that. And then he heads home. We see the scene where he's just sitting down there alone. There's a knock at the door. He gets his gun out. He goes, and it's Bill. Bill wants to really talk to him now. What's going on?
Yeah, and he pretty much he lays it out. You're not being open with me, and he lays everything out. Not calling him a rat, but pretty much laying out like, "Are you a rat?" And
because he knows about two things. Right with the rat, but then also thinks he's greedy because it's like, hey, I have somebody watching over you, not following you, but just making sure you're okay. Yeah. And I saw that you went back to your bar to have a meeting with some other guy. So yeah, his thing is you're greedy. So isn't this what we see with a lot of companies that fail in other TV shows where it's like you already had an empire. You wanted more. And by wanting more, you brought more and more onto you, right? And as he runs through all the stuff, that's when he's like, he puts the gun in his chest and says, "Are you calling me a rat?" He goes, "I didn't call you a rat." But it's funny you use those words. And not only that, I did talk to a sheriff, and the sheriff said that you told him that you were a rat. You said you would inform him. Why would you say that? I didn't say that. Well, you know what? Unlike the influencers, the sheriff actually had a phone and sent me the.
He wouldn't even need it. He'd have a body camera on.
His body camera. Oh, that's right. Yes, but I didn't see the body cam on him. I think that's pretty. You get to see it. I don't know, but yeah, could have been. It would have been cool if he was in. But he was like, hey. Then he brings up the whole raid. He said, maybe you're behind that. Maybe you're trying to mess with my business.
This is when he did bring up about his thing being raided, and then
Armand.
And Armand got brought up again. Where's Armand? How do we know that he's not feeding the intel? And we don't, except for I'm pretty sure Armand's done with the show.
Right, Armand. It's like, what was it, man? I had it in my head earlier when we were talking about Armand, someone that keeps getting referred to on the show and never appears, and it was like, oh man. And there was what's that? Maybe this is it. It's like Rick from The Walking Dead when he left, and he just kept talking about it. But yeah, everybody already knew the dude left the show. He was gonna go do movies, and COVID hit. He didn't do the movies. He's from England. He didn't want to come back to the States, but they kept talking about him all the time. And eventually they had to do the little 6-episode miniseries, but yeah, it was like for seasons. It was like multiple seasons. They kept talking about it. It's like, oh man, is that going to be the running joke? Armand did it. Everything bad happens on the show is blamed on Armand now. It's like, shoot, the dog died. Armand, he did it. My horse got sick. Fucking Armand, he came back. He did it.
But so then Bill leaves, and then Joanne comes down, and she's like, "What's up with the gun?" Well, okay, Joanne, were you not there when you just saw people smash in there? Like, what do you mean? Why is like, what's up with the gun? I would have the
Everybody.
gun too.
Yeah, everybody should have guns on this because things are reckless, and she should be no stranger to all this because she grew up with it, right?
Yes.
She knows all this, so I'm sure she would have, if she was really smart with all this, heard all this commotion, whatever, she would have been packing coming down the stairs.
Yes.
You know, it's like did Dunmire just show up? Is he threatening my brother downstairs? Hold on, let me get my 45. Here we go, lock and
Yeah,
load,
I
safety
thought
off.
I thought it was gonna be Dexter at the door.
Oh, why? So he can kill him and add to
Because
his side
Dexter already,
collection. We get a
remember,
crossover. It's all under Paramount. Fantastic
not that
idea, Lauren.
Dexter. No,
Fantastic idea.
the watchmaker's name is Dexter.
I know.
So I thought it was gonna be him because he knew exactly. He said, "Yeah, I know you have an event, right?" So he knows everything about him. And then we see Bill driving home, and then we see two black SUVs fly up on him at a red light, block him in because there's never any traffic. It's like Reacher, never any traffic. And guys with full masks on, AR platform rifles get out. I'm kind of with you. I think these are more agents rather than assassins for Dunmire.
Yeah, no. He didn't. If Dunmire had that type of pull to get those type of guys, they would have been there at the
or they would have shot him up. So
they would have,
and that's where it ends.
Yeah, it could have been like the terminal list type of thing, right? And then he takes off his mask and was like, "Oh, it's Ben from Terminalist." And he's doing another operation because remember he is a man for hire, and I took him out. I'm the one. I'm telling you, I want to link all these universes together and want to make one epic show. And I was like, "What's the name of the show?" It's called Epic Show. And that's it. It's gonna have everything linked in. We're gonna throw in some stuff from old movies and TV shows. How we even bring the dude that played Urkel. We'll find a role for him. His house gets raided because of some shit going on. It would be fantastic. I would love it.
So
but
that's where it ends.
What do you think then of this guy? What do you think? I think this is to pull Ben in on the whole issue going on with Dwight.
Bill?
I think with Bill. I think this is it.
I
think this is
wonder
the
if
agent pulling him in.
I wonder if this is the agent thinking that Dwight told Bill, so now it's time to pull him into it.
No, he's got him bugged. If he's got his phone bugged, I'm sure the house is bugged. I think this is more like you're asking too many questions. You're gonna screw things up. So he's gonna say, "Hey, I know about your shady laundry business and all this stuff. I know that. I can mess with you. Stay out of this. Get out of this. Stay out of it. I could, you know what I mean? Stay out of this. Let him do his thing. He's very close. He's working for me on this other, because that's the other part of this. Dwight did not bring that up. I thought once Bill was coming clean again at the house. Where were you at that meeting? Following you're getting greedy. I'm not about the greed. Oh, I'm helping a fat agent. I'm not a rat. You know, I was right. I was expecting him to go off and just tell him he's your partner in crime, literally in crime.
You can't tell. He can't say anything.
But I mean, if you can't talk to a fellow criminal, who can you talk to?
You can't tell a fellow criminal that you're a rat.
Not a rat. He's not a rat. He's not a rat. He's helping. He's not ratting on anybody. He didn't know the watchmaker. Watchmaker wasn't a guy at his Thanksgiving dinner or anything like that. He don't care what happens to this dude. But he did give him $250,000. So I think he has a vested interest now. And you know what? I don't know how much money is being pulled into that restaurant / casino, but isn't that part of the business deal with Bill? Isn't that still what the operation? I know it's with the weed, which they don't really talk about much anymore.
Yeah, they don't really talk about the weed. The whole purpose was him. Weed is legalized, and you're like, wait a minute, you can make this much money, and just make weed farms, and there's a lot that's kind of been dropped.
Yeah, a lot's happened with this show. A lot of changes, a lot of things. Because remember, this restaurant, you know what we haven't received in this season that we got a lot of last one, and maybe they read some of my comments in the threads and stuff because I was upset. I was tired of these little mini musicals that they were putting. Remember, they had Jelly Roll and they had somebody else, and they would throw them on stage and they give them like 5 minutes to do like a mini music video. And I was like, why are we doing this? I don't need this. I don't need this. You don't remember that? Remember when Jelly Roll showed up and the guy is like, and what do you do? You're the it's like, I'm the talent. You're the talent. What do you mean? He's like, well, you never heard of me? I'm a sing. All right, go up there and sing. And then he performs his song. Yeah, I was like, do we need that? Yeah, come on now. At the same time, I think it was shortly after. That's when one of was it Bill's guys or somebody showed up and then they killed him in the back or in front. Remember, it was a murder just took place right after this Jelly Roll performance. But I'm just glad we didn't get any of that type of stuff here. But I don't know. This episode, we had some good moments and some bad moments. We've already discussed some of the bad. The whole thing with the Dunmire showing up and then the way he crashed that party and nobody filming it, or at least none that we could see. Who knows? Maybe the next episode, Brody goes online and says, "Wow, we're everywhere. Everyone's talking about this." But we don't know. Well, we'll see next episode, which will be the finale, and then we'll cover it from there. But hey, everybody, if you made it this far, thank you. Thanks for sticking around. Please click the like, click the subscribe. We got tons of other shows. Now we can actually say that we have a bunch of other shows we cover with Mobland, Revival, Terminal List, Blacklist, Dexter Resurrection, Throw Mama from the Train. Not yet, but if they make another one, we'll cover that movie too. We'll cover all of it. But thanks again for the support. We've hit some big milestones here over on YouTube and also with the streaming and stuff. And that's all thanks to you guys and gals out there. It's been fantastic. This is a fun time. We like talking about these shows. These are shows that we pick, right? Yeah, the screen is whatever, but we ask for these. We're like, hey, we want to cover it, we want to talk about it. And it's not like, oh, damn. Is what everybody's talking about. Now we have to cover. No. It's the stuff that we wanted to talk about it and share it with you, the people. All right. So thanks again, everybody. And we will be back next week for episode the 6th, the finale for this one. And then you'll probably see another episode of Slow Horses, which we're also covering. All right, everybody. Thank you.
Take care.